Hello, you sexy human creature. Welcome to Center of Light. Tonight is Center of Light Direction. Where do we go? Universe. You. One song. Universe. In is the way out. Learning, got new technology. Thanks to everyone who has been supporting Center of Light during this time of computer crash crisis. I have some new devices. Please work. It'll work. It will work. It will work. Hello, Dr. Katie Camara. Hello, everyone on YouTube. Wonderful, wonderful. Love and light eats spiritual dynamite, you sexy human creature. For those who don't know, some time back I had a serious computer crash. Everyone jumped on board. Thank you. Everything is working so far as the technology that, hello Robert, that I'm purchasing to try to avoid buying a new PC, a custom built PC. Everything looks good so far. And all of your donations, be it in monetary support, be it sharing support or prayer support, thank you. Just purchased a new cam today. It's a 4K cam. I can't push it as hard as I want to, which I want to, but it may stutter and stammer for those who don't have such technology. But it is, I'm assuming, a lot sharper and a lot clearer. Lots of cool things on the way very soon. In fact, maybe tomorrow night, not sure. I'm going to bring Center of Light Radio back. I miss talking to others in interview mode, fashion style. It's been a while. Again, tonight is Center of Light Direction. In is the way out. The universe out here is inviting. It's supposed to be tantalizing, fanciful, lustful. That's the point. So you can have your cake and eat it too. But the universe in here, the causal universe, is infinite. Sort of. In your human meat suit, you sexy beast. As you use these things to look out here to all these things, it only goes so far. In fact, it only goes as far as your eyes can see, and your ears can hear, and your touch can feel, so to speak. But when you turn this way, the whole thing opens up. It's like if you can imagine there's a glove. Imagine this is your hand. And we come from the source. And we all become individuals. And we see the world out here. Right? But when we turn inward from here, all these places, everything's backwards. All the way back to the source, it opens up. Right now, for all of us, it's very crucial. The world's getting louder and louder and busier and busier. And so we have to get busy, quieter and quieter and busier and busier. In is the way out. Not that you're trying to escape from something. Not that you're trying to run away from something. But you're running as fast as you can to a something. What is that something that you're running as fast as you possibly can to? It looks like you when you look in the mirror. YOUniverse. YOUniverse. In is the way out. Such of light tonight. Direction. Which way to go? Hey, look, I know the outside world, the temporal world, is fun. It's so fun, we've gotten lost in it. But I have went, still am, on the spiritual, I'm pulling back from the world. Not only have I been quiet, and that's tough for me, for the last few days, I'm stepping away from the drama. My compassion for myself and the world deserves it, as well as with you. So it's important that you begin to stay internally referenced. I get it. I know. The world's loud. It pulls you into a piss and vinegar fight, praise and worship fight. This is what I praise, and this is what I worship, and this is what I beat down, and this is what I want to smite. Where I'm going, or hope you are choosing, doesn't matter what I hope, you can choose what you choose, and I want the best for you, however you do that. In is the way out. The first time in recorded, so far, history of the universe, that this has ever been achieved or attempted to be achieved. Yes, there are higher level civilizations who have achieved states of absolute divine knowledge, but the human birth is special. So special. The prophecy of many different scriptures describes this time period, this no time period of heaven on earth. I don't know what that's worth to you, but it's worth everything to me. This 26th, give or take, 1,000-year cycle is here. It's important you stay internally referenced. I get it. Something just happened. Oh my God, did you hear what just happened? Yes, I did. And it pulls us immediately into the drama of the world because it's supposed to. What we do with that from that point onward will either work for you or against you. React, it's likely. I'm reacting. Yes, it caught me. It's supposed to catch me. Now let me pull not only myself back, but pull the event or situation of the world into me, so I can do the work internally and transform the dynamic of not only what is happening, more so what I think is happening. And when we come to these gradations, these elevations and integrations, as we have pulled this into ourselves, the world is at war. Let me go outside. It's got my attention, that's for sure. We went outside. Now we grab it and bring it back home base. And then we begin to place ourselves into this space and begin to manipulate this infinite potential, this infinite possibility. You are a light worker. You are a sorcerer. Hello, Christine. What is sorcerer? Sorcerer. I come from the source of all creation. And as a child of God, consciously, I wield in all my manipulation that which is of the highest good for everyone involved. Hello, Joyce. Thank you for sharing. You sorcerer, you. See, it's not about this black magic witchery. It's not any of that. It's nonsense. Your brain has been twisted. One of the most dominant anti-power components we have taken upon ourselves is doubt. Doubt. Well, Keith, you have been saying for many years you've experienced these things with higher beings and extraterrestrials. I believe you, but I'm not sure. I have my own reservations about anything. That's for many things, that's for sure. But it's all fantasy. It's all imagination. It's all a dream. And it's all reality. Because at any given moment, what happens to you and what you believe is happening is real for you, is it not? And no matter if you live your life even in the external world, the temporal world, it's still all internal. Because your source of joy or misery happens within you. There's no escape. There is no escape from this truth, which seems like it binds you when I say there's no escape, so you seem like you're bound. But there's no escape from that which is going to free you. Free you? Sounds like it costs something. Isn't it supposed to be free? Well, it does cost something. It costs the death of what you know as you. It's the only way you can ever be reborn. In Christ, in Buddhic consciousness, in Krishna consciousness. Jesus can't save you until you choose to save yourself by asking for the Lord for your help. There is no other way. You can run away all you want, but there is no other way. I choose Jesus or whoever as my Lord and Savior. Fantastic. But nothing happens until we do the work that shows our hand is reaching above the quagmire, the cesspool, above the surface tension, so said deity can grab our hand and pull us out of this shit. Nothing happens until then. Nothing. No matter what you believe, no matter what you think, no matter how you go about your life, when you get yourself painted in these spiritual corners by being put in check, you have to check yourself lovingly. Nothing happens until I, as the essential, absolute one, makes the choice for change itself. Center of light, direction. Where am I going? You go where you like. I'm going here. I'm going inward, which is upward, which is forward, which is toward or something, to get to a better place, a better space. But the better space we're trying to get to is really not down the linear timeline in future tense. It's actually right here, right now. It may take the future gradation, but ultimately, when we arrive, we're going to find ourselves right back here. Hello, Joe Truger. Where are you going? I'm asking you, where are you going? I have plans. Fantastic. Plans are what happens when we push God out of the equation to let things naturally unfold. We all have desires. Stay in your desires. They're beautiful. They're fun. Don't let them bring you so far and for too much time into the outside world that you get lost in the swirl. The swirl's getting stronger. We need to become stronger by becoming more humble. Some people think humility is weakness. You know, you can look at a lion and a tiger all you like, and it's beautiful, and it represents absolute power. But what does it do to you when you look at a deer, a baby, a fawn, a brand new of anything? It's a whole different level of power. It's caressing, it's nurturing, it's mother. It doesn't require all this force and predatory nature, you know, to eat, gobble, 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 consume, consume, consume. That's more of the animal predatory nature way of the human being. I'm speaking about something different. The human actually seeing and freeing their self to becoming aware that they live in their own house of many mansions. In is the way out. In is the way out, without a doubt. Around and about. In is the way out. You see, you are being tested, not by God, but by the highest aspect of yourself, which is God. It says, all right, this is the prophecy foretold. In the days of yore, in the days of old. Here we go. And this is where we are. We are actually now here we going. Are you here we going? I'm here we going. And so we have to tap into the resources that we have at least accumulated thus far throughout our life. To brave the next mountain, to champion the next wilderness, to walk on water. Dear Lord, it's going to require all of us to be walking on some water. Son and daughter of God through this even or odd period. Period. Center of light, direction. In is the way out. In, up, forward, forward. I want to say thank you to Dr. Katie Camara again for helping me create this fundraiser, and we are winning. Thank you, everyone. You can send your fundraiser contribution there. You can pray over it. You can share it. Thank you. Continue moving forward. Let me get out of these modes. I'm relearning my muscle memory from not having a computer for so long. So thank you for your patience. Going inward creates power. Divine absolute power. Power. Which creates breakthroughs in our lives. Like now. Like we're all having. Connection to the highest possible course, source, and force there is. God, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, your great-grandmother, even if you're an atheist, which there is no such thing because I can prove it to you, but I ain't going to do it in this presentation. Whatever your highest ideal is for you, atheist or not, that is God for you, because it is the model, the inspiration, the icon, the God you follow. It is very important, again, you stay internally referenced to monitor your feelings. The world will grab you and pull you into the current. Hello, Karen. Karen says, I love your pendant, piercing blue. It's a turquoise a beautiful friend got from me when they are away out of town on vacation. Thank you, dear. It's good to see you. The world is loud. And when we get pulled into the world, in all of its volume, folly, nonsense, beautifully it is, it becomes God. Thou shalt not have any other idols before me. And when we drool at the mouth, and when we pain in the heart, it's a form of worship, I tell you. We're giving all of our attention to said thing that creates such a movement in me. But I can be so still, I only allow those things that are absolutely beautiful to move me. And it's not that the horrible things that we all experience in life are not beautiful. It's about perspective and where one comes from to actually understand what's happening that keeps it always at its highest possible level. That's where we get the most bang for our buck. Fuck. There's a lot of bang coming in the world. And it can suck. It does suck. Stay in compassion. Bring yourself back to center, because the world is going to do everything it can to help you enter into its disguise, its illusion, its Maya. It's here. We're in March. I said many times in the past, when the month of March comes, March. People are marching in protest. People are marching to war. March. This thing that happened just exactly 2 years and a few days ago, that we had the Ronage, March. Cyclical in nature. And we're marching in slowly but surely to 2023. Oh my God, what can that be? Beautiful possibility, I tell you, but this is what's going to happen. The greater things arise in beautifulness, miraculously, all this wonderful stuff. This other stuff's going to rise. Either way, the balance scale, the Libra, is going to teeter-totter until one becomes 51%. And then you're going to be left with this experience as your dominant tone. And it's going to take everything to get back to the other one that's lower on the scale if you misplaced yourself. It's important that you stay internally referenced so you can experience the you, the universe. The universe. In is the way out. Not only do you have a chance to live a very stable life in this non-stable period externally, there is an added bonus. There's an added bonus, which is you get to experience the all of it. Hello, beautiful Elaine. Going to take a short pause, song break, going to be right back. I have some dialogue from Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, my year-plus bestseller. Thank you, Gavin Lee Davies of John Hunt's Publishing, worldwide distribution. Blah, 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 I can keep on and on and on. Let's play a song. By the way, you can find this information for my bestseller in the forum somewhere. It's obviously go to the top, jump seat, hyperlink to Amazon. Leave me a review, please do. Let's go to song break. And it helps me. It's because, one, I get short-winded because I get so involved, but also it helps me to create a pause, step back, and move into a new scene, a new session, a new level. I love to be one. We all love to be one, but here's Lavender Soul, my spiritual band, singing I love to be one.
Making one of 100 million pieces, making one of each and every heart, giving one love like you really mean it, seeing one in each other every day. Loving one is how to get to heaven. Sharing one, the love that you are. Hearing one, that little voice inside, being one with all the people, teaching one all the children about love, finding one your own peaceful heart, causing one to feel peace too, and that's the way. And that's the way to be one. Being one that lives to make a difference, caring for one who really needs a friend, opening one to truth that they see, yeah. Lifting one to dwell in the kingdom, dwell in the kingdom. Sending one only thoughts of happiness, receiving one love that's your gift. Think as one ends the separation. Being one saves the world. Teaching one all the children about love. Finding one your own peaceful heart. Causing one to feel peace too. And that's the way. That's the way. Teaching one all the children about love. Finding one your own peaceful heart. Cause the world to feel peace too. And that's the way.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight is Center of Light Direction. In is the way out. To reach, travel, traverse the universe. YOUniverse. Universe. What is the universe? The Hindi scripture calls their holy book the Bhagavad Gita. Excuse me. Excuse me 1 second. Not Bhagavad Gita. Oh my God. Bhagavad Gita. One song. Gita means song. One song. Universe. I just had a little brain right there. In is the way out. You're not running away. You're choosing to go deeper within. Because Source expresses itself outward from all of us. Source, God, creation, heart, Yah, power, will, fire, all that cool God stuff, right? And it moves through the mind, be it one that is of absolute clarity or one that's filtered with nonsense. And then we take action. Yah, all that good God stuff, fire. As this force, filter or not, creates through all of us outward, from the heart through all the extremities and we express. So when we look into the world and we see all this stress and distress, it will pull you into it. Whether you like it or not, unless you're so conscious, you choose to go there and grab it yourself. Either way, the whole mission, the whole point of it all is to grab it somehow, whether you're thrown out into it or whether you consciously choose to help. To bring it back to space, center, God, source, fire, power, will, consciousness. And you begin to manipulate, wield, mold, reshape, transmute, transform, transfigure, go figure, all the nonsense that we wish to see not only clear up in the world, which will never happen, never, ever, 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 until we clear up the nonsense that's happening within ourselves. Because 8.1 billion people can be absolutely pure and clear, and they can experience the highest glory. And that one person may not have the same level or capacity of a conscious awareness and experience something totally different. So we have to clear up the nonsense by clearing up the nonsense. And that is an individual responsibility. So what we are really talking about in tonight's presentation, which is Center of Light Direction, YOUniverse, one song, In His Way Out, what we're really talking about is facing the outwardly demons by facing the internal demons. God versus the devil, basically. But that is not the truth either. That was said to set up a point of, I'm going to throw you here because we understand that. Now let's raise the bar another level. Keith, isn't there only God versus the devil? If that's what you believe, that's exactly what's happening. But what God are we serving here? What God are we worshiping here? What God are we the children of here? The God that I am a child of is here. It's here. So there is something else that exists beyond the duality of what we think is God and a devil. And what is that? It's the you that I'm asking you to tap into, that is now contemplating, meditating on the fact that can there be something else other than what I think is God and or the devil? There's no way out of this conundrum. There's no way out of it. You're stuck or you're free. It's your choice. Well, God is Jesus, God is Buddha, God is all these wonderful qualities, this dogma, this scriptural, all beautiful stuff that I've taken in to say this is said truth, absolute truth. And this is all the horse shit that I've been taught to say this is absolute truth. All right, let's look at it. All right. What happens when we take this one and we put them like this and we say, I'm ready for what's next? What's next is not only a slice of bread, and you as the meat in the middle. You make a sexy human sandwich. Now you get to add some mayonnaise to this beautiful sustenance that you're taking in as your food. Chick dude. There's something else. If you think there's something more, then there has to be something more. There is always something more. This is the spiritual unfoldment for every aspirant, no matter what creed, code, sect, religion, sexual preference, country. It doesn't matter. If you're still caught, I'm lovingly massaging you and warning you. Sounds arrogant. You understand arrogance. I'm okay with that. If you are still living in this is the only way, you're about to be in serious trouble. About however much linear time it's going to take. But the energy is unfolding to put all of us in check, because that's really what we want. Oh, Keith, I don't want that. Yes, you do. On some level, you really do. That's why it is approaching you, me, we, and us. You can fuss and you can cuss all you want. But what must happen is what I just described. you might as well subscribe and ascribe to this program, this internal program of a divine matrix that you are a whole fragment, a whole hologram of. But I'm telling you, push has come to shove, and it wants to eat you alive from an unconscious perspective if you're such a one. But from a conscious perspective, you want to be the one that feeds everybody. All right, from Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul, my dialogue with Spirit many years ago. Tonight is center of light direction. In is the way out. YOUniverse. Spirit starts off, you must believe that the Christ, the Buddha, the Krishna, whatever word you choose, highest idea, is you. And you must begin to integrate that belief so that you can marshal, what a good word in this context, so that you can begin to marshal the power to move through the illusions of separation, disease, and ultimately death that will continue to present themselves. Only your perception, there by choice, universe, is what keeps you from doing that. And I asked the question, is there such a thing as original sin? And if so, what is it? Spirit responds, that would be conscious separation from God because we've been lost in the outside world. In is the way out. But conscious or not, you cannot separate from me. And despite your God amnesia, the highest aspect of yourself, higher self, remains ready to emerge so that you can become love on earth. Love on earth, what is that? That's the heaven on earth prophecy. Love on earth. That's the whole purpose of the cross, the crucifix. But conscious or not, you cannot separate from me. And despite your God amnesia, your higher self remains ready to emerge so that you can become love on earth. Another thing that keeps you from knowing the self, the highest idea that you are, is the large dose of doubt you still carry from other lifetimes. I love you too, Tammy. You're gorgeous. You're sexy, beautiful. I tell you that. Was what I said earlier. Doubt. Keith, are you saying unicorns exist? Are you saying they don't? How do we know of the idea of such a thing called a unicorn in the first place? On some level, it is real. So what are we willing to do to finish the deal? To realize that we are imaginary, imaginative, imagination, sparking creation being. It's all real and it's all false. God, all real, and it's all false. Devil, who is the lie, so which is true. And when we bring these two together, there is a something else. That is what I'm most interested in, is the something else. When will you realize that doubt is a most destructive force to inflict upon yourself? What do you think prevents you from knowing? And I say, confusion? And Spirit says, yes, but why are you confused, Keith? I say, it's like there's a battle going on within me. I feel I know what's real, but my analytical monkey mind still tries very hard to convince me otherwise. I guess I've allowed the stuff I've taken in since my birth to rule all my decisions. And Spirit responds, yes, that internal struggle. God, devil, in, out, this, that whole dynamic of contrast. Yes, that internal struggle is what I meant earlier when I spoke about right and wrong. Confusion has shaped your every doubt. Doubt has created your confusion and lack of clarity. Fear has taken away your power to create the life you truly want. These are your only opponents. Let me read that again for me. Confusion has shaped your every doubt. Santa Claus is real. Well, Keith, no, it's not. I'm 45, whatever years old. It's not real, I tell you. You tell that to an 8-year-old child. Only childlike shall enter. Confusion has shaped your every doubt. Doubt has created your confusion and lack of clarity. Fear has taken away your power to create the life you truly want. These are your only opponents. There are no others. The only way to win this game we are talking about is to stop playing it. And I say, how? Stop thinking that you yourself are incapable of creating something beautiful. When you doubt, you either move forward in time, we want to be here, not forward in time, or back, away from the power of the here and now. Doubt always creates gravity, drag, and dread, and as soon as you entertain it, it stifles anything creative you are trying to will forth. Only when you trust that everything will fall into place will you find real power. Only when we trust everything will fall into place. In is the way out. Only when we... Let me find my placement. Everything is so small. Only when we trust that everything will fall into place will we find real power. And I respond by saying, it's not that I don't trust, it's more that I don't know how to let go of doubt. That is a very honest, clear question. It's not that I don't trust. I trust. Many of us trust. We just don't know how to let go of the nagging demon inside that's going, I got you. And Spirit responds, I know what you're trying to say, Keith, so let me suggest this. This applies to everyone. It's applicable. Give yourself the gift of accepting, if only for a few minutes at a time at first, that you are in a state of knowing at all times, a state in which you can easily recognize simply whether or not there is doubt or whether or not there is trust, whether there is fear or love in charge of your life. So basically, it's an evaluation point. All right, this dynamic is happening and I'm kind of teeter-tottering and getting a little nauseous. Step back and we ask ourselves the question, what is in charge of my life? Doubt or knowing, love or fear? And then Spirit says, then begin to peg the power that doubt holds over you and use this to your advantage. Find center. If you notice there is doubt, just redirect your knowing of said doubt to cancel everything. Realize that nothing can possibly happen through it. Let the knowing part of you of doubt that I'm doubting, I know that I'm doubting, let the knowing part of you that so wants to blossom transform that doubt into trust. Then watch what happens. The knower within you with the know-how to get what you want will silently emerge. Beyond this and that is a something else. That something else will silently begin to emerge. If you take your trust to the ultimate level by wanting nothing and trusting God, your higher self, with your entire life, Spirit will begin to move within you and give you something far beyond what you can dream up of on your own. You've heard the saying, it takes one to know one. In such a beautiful way, the self will see its own miraculous, beautiful self. The true miracle, for I am everywhere. As you endeavor to see and be my miracle, you will come across many keys that fit many doors, but only one will release you from the emptiness you feel. And I ask, of course, drooling at the mouth, which one is it? Wringing his hands together. The one that opens the door leading to the void. In is the way out, where miracles can happen. And I respond reluctantly, but it's so scary to go there. I know you feel intimidated, dear one, but I assure you that if you're willing to go to hell to get to heaven, the divine that occupies these seemingly empty spaces will be revealed to you. And I say that's easy for you to say. Whew, I got a little bit left. But now I'm going to take a pause because I'm out of breath. Welcome to Center of Light, direction. You're living inwardly or outwardly. All right, I'm going to take a song break. I'm going to be right back. I do have a audio bite for you a little later from YOUniverse. What is happening really is God versus the devil. And I don't mean in this cosmic struggle of force or power. That's not what's happening. It's our belief and what we think it all is about and happening that is transpiring every second, every minute, every hour. And since time is depleting, that every second, every minute, and every hour is simply disappearing. and we're beginning to be showered or devoured. Heads up. Every day, it folds into itself times or whatever, but it doubles every day. Are you going outside? I promise you, you're not going to have a choice but to be launched outside, either by unconsciousness or consciously choosing to launch outside, to grab the world through your compassion and bring it in such a fashion. But even if you get yanked outside, it's your call as a light warrior, a child of God, to stand up and do what you know is true. What is true is the essence of you, the YOUniverse, and is the way out, I tell you. Let's see if we can play Divine Lover. It's about connecting with the source. Here we go.
I will be with you always, until the end of time. You will never be alone. I am.
All of my life, all of my days, I feel you there beside me. All of my lives, all through my days, I've seen places far away. 100 just went, time and again, I have come to know you. Wondering just where, time and again, you are there beside me. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. Help me know
It is my will that you know me. I will not hide my love from you. You create your reality, and every moment by your own perceptions, your judgments, actions. Peace is a state of mind. Bliss is a state of heart. Heaven is a state of being.
deep in my heart, I know you're there. I can always feel you guiding my life to see the light that will lead me to the truth. When I create, when I feel love, whenever I feel you with me, I celebrate times of my life. There is only you and me. For you are my mother,
My soul.
my
is officially bringing Jesus to the track. The great I am is officially bringing Jesus to the track. He's officially bringing the great I am. Is officially bringing Jesus to the track. The great I am is officially bringing Jesus to the track. The great I am is officially bringing Jesus to the track.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight is Center of Light Direction. Center of Light Direction. Where are we going? I don't know either. Universe. You. One song. You're one being. For now. One. Universe. Universe. We're speaking about how you are living in a hot zone right now. Many people will say, we could avoid it. We could have many calamities along the way if we would have only unified along the way. I think that's really not true. It can't be any other way. God doesn't make mistakes. Nothing happens in the universe without the absolution's permission. So it's really the story to be told from a future perspective, future vantage point is, those people were crazy. They waited to the brink to think about what was happening. That's kind of the beauty of the human story from future vantage point. Human glory. Continuing on with my dialogue with Spirit from Homecoming Crossing the Bridge to the Soul that I left off a bit ago. Let me get back to where I was. As you endeavor to see and be my miracle, you will come across many keys that fit many doors, but only one will release you from the emptiness you feel. As I said earlier, it's important that we stay internally referenced about our feeling base. Though we get launched out when something in the world happens, we must get back to center. It's most crucial. And I ask Spirit, what is that one key? Which one is it? And Spirit says the one that opens the door leading to the void where miracles can happen, basically beyond the normal that we've all been used to for so long. And then I say, but it's so scary to go there. Keith, I know you feel intimidated, but I assure you, this applies to all of us. I know you feel intimidated, but I assure you that if you're willing to go through hell to get to heaven, the divine that occupies these seemingly empty spaces will be revealed to you. And I say, well, that's easy for you to say. Know that I do understand the reluctance for you to confront the abyss of your own demons. You got to go inside and face your own trauma. Daddy, mama. That being said, do it anyway. For I am here with you in places you are not yet present within yourself, to give you what only I can. That feeling, wow, what just popped into my beautiful heart was the image of, in the movie about Martin Luther King. They were not allowed to cross that bridge in Selma, Alabama. And he prayed and prayed, and they protested and protested. Finally, when it was passed that they can now cross the bridge on this set date, they were going to celebrate their victory. To cross the bridge And everyone was waiting for this on public TV to happen. And before they did, Martin Luther King dropped to his open-hearted knee and said, "What should I do?" He could have passed, because now he was given a pass to do so. But he passed on the idea. That made the point of not crossing that threshold even more relevant. I am here with you in places you are not yet present within yourself to give you what only I can. That feeling that everything is okay. So crossing that bridge in that Martin Luther King Day was irrelevant. He became the anchor and pillar of light by getting on his blessed, humble knee. Wow! All you need to do is let go and expand your awareness until you recognize the sureness of that. And I asked the question, will you walk with me? And Spirit responds right by your side. Now close your eyes and just, let's move beyond some of that. There's a lot here. I grabbed oodles of text. So what I'm now going to move into, since tonight is center of light, direction. Inward is where you want to go. You will always exist. It's a universal law. There's no way you can die. Energy only is transformed. You are consciousness. You are here. You're projected from the throne of all creation itself. Or you're not. Wouldn't it be arrogant to think that we could exist without being plugged, without being plugged into existence? So in this extension of being at the throne, the pinnacle of, not the pinnacle of creation, it's not even creation. It isn't. It isn't. It just is. Even in its isn't-ness. That. What is that? Most people, and I'm struggling my ass off to understand what that isn't is, more so than the is. Because 90% every between the space of the 10% of what is the 90% of what isn't. That's called Shiva. Dark matter, wormhole, black hole. It's the empty space, the cosmic womb of empty space, the darkness, if you will, the tunnel. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, but in the vaginal canal is darkness. 9 months incubation, 9 years, 9,100 years, 1,000 years, 90,000, however long this dynamic of foreverness continues until we turn within so much. In is the way out. But what we have before us now, within us now, is this opportunity to masturbate ourselves by touching our inner core and stimulate that inner core to such a way that we ejaculate. If people say, Keith, it doesn't matter. These are all very powerful words and they touch you. Touch you. And if it affects you and it offends you, maybe that's a place you need to go sit by the river for a little while and kick your feet in the water and look at how such words can be so powerful. Any guilt, shame, or blame around it becomes a lesson. So I'm going to move into the Shunyamurti blessing, which is he's going to help me, for sure, look at my own inner demons. Tonight is center of light, direction. In is the way out. Universe. It's all about you. It's never been about anything else. If you existed, ready? If you existed and you take Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, anything out of the equation, you exist. Those other things simply don't exist. Take these things out of the equation, they just never existed for you, but you exist. But if you take all these things, deities, anything at all and have them exist and take you out of the equation, you've never been created in the first place. This is correct perception. This is liberation. YOUniverse. We got a 15-minute blessing coming, to me at least. The demons, it requires inner work. The fact that he's calling this presentation the demons, it's an outward, meaning those out here who are trying to control the human mass, they're going to lose. Now, any of us can lose at any moment because we're not so consciously connected. So the demons will lose. YOUniverse.
All the traditions are in agreement that we have three ranges on the spectrum of consciousness that are available to us. And that when we're fully charged, we are in our divine nature. In the first yuga of the cycle, all of us are in divine consciousness. That's what is called being an avatar. Nothing less than that. So understand that divine nature is a level of energy. Once we come into the cycle and we have a certain charge of energy, that's all we get. And that energy is going to go down. It doesn't go up, it goes down. And so in the second age, the Silver Age or Treta Yuga, we're in a semi-divine state, but we're already falling. And then by the time we get into the Dwapar Yuga, we have become humans, but a higher type of human. And then when we get into the end of Dwapar and the beginning of Kali Yuga, we are lower kinds of humans, but still human. And then as Kali Yuga ends, nearly everyone enters the demonic nature and loses the human qualities. And so because of that, it requires a very radical self-transformation to escape from the demonic state, which produces suffering, destruction, death, evil, all of that we are witnessing, and chaos on a physical as well as a social and political level. So the human is a hybrid. The ego partakes of subconsciously the demonic nature and superconsciously can touch into the divine nature. But as you fall more and more into the demonic state, the divine is inaccessible. And then one comes completely under the laws of karma, because there is no grace, no salvation, because the demonic nature has no love and is not able to receive love, divine love. And that cuts one off from being able to charge the battery. That's what has to happen. The battery is dead, literally, at the end of the Kali Yuga, and you've got to charge it. That's what we're here to do. That's what yoga is about. But to charge the battery, we have to connect to the source, and the demonic nature resists that connection because it's threatened by it. So the world is a war between gods and demons. And at the end of Kali Yuga, the demons have almost won. They don't even believe that there are any gods left who need to be defeated, because there aren't. But what there are former gods. There are those who remember somewhere deep down that you used to be in a higher state in another lifetime. You have that memory. And the more that you begin to meditate, the more the remembrance of that higher consciousness and the information it contains and the love and the light and the beauty begins to dawn again from within. And as it does, one is able to then make a connection to the source of the power that made you divine in the first place. It's not enough to remember being once divine. You have to connect with the power again to redivinize your consciousness. This is not about nostalgia or trying to have a past life experience. No, this is about becoming now again a divine being. But a demon cannot even entertain that thought for very long. And so we are reaching a point now at the end of Kali Yuga where everything is totally polarized. As below, so above, right? In the same way that humanity has now been split between the vaxxed and the unvaxxed, we are now split between those who are in the divine nature and those who are in the demonic. There are no more hybrids. There's no more neutrality. Okay, I'll listen to the angel, I'll listen to the devil, I'll make my decision. It won't work. The devil's got you. The moment you give up your divine nature, you're in the grip of the demonic force. So unless there's a total surrender and a total yearning for transcending the demonized human nature, with whatever margin of health, of sanity, of power, willpower one has left, one has to use it. So right now, everyone is torn between gnosis and psychosis. There isn't even neurosis anymore to kind of have as a middle ground. It's a psychotic world now. That's the norm. And so you are going to be in a psychotic state if you are not in the state of total, liberated, blissful consciousness. It really is that extreme, a polarization that is now occurring on this plane. And so the line has been drawn, and you have to decide which side of the line you're on. You can't be on the fence. There is no fence. And if you try to be in the middle and say, I'll just muddle through my human existence and try to enjoy things as much as possible, you'll be grabbed by the demonic force. So there's an urgency of making the choice. What side are you? Do you belong to God or do you belong to the devil? It really is that clear and complete a choice. You can't be halfway. You can't be partially pregnant. You can't be partially vaccinated. You can't be partially demonic and partially divine. It doesn't work. That's the decision that has to be made at the outset to begin the journey as a Sat Yogi. If there isn't total determination, I'm choosing God and the divine nature, you won't have the willpower and the grace to escape from your own dark side, from those maras that we talked about, that are already in your mind and they have usurped your mind and they're causing you to commit bad karma and to be stupid and confused and not in your right mind, literally. So you either have to totally get out and get out now, without delay, or say, okay, I belong to the demons, and all that goes with that choice. So things are serious. Now, Maciek was faced with the same choice. And this was, back in 1100, and things were already bad enough that she had to make great efforts to defeat her own Maras. And this woman was a child prodigy. She was extraordinarily intelligent, so intelligent that she was invited into the monasteries to memorize all the sacred texts, the Pragya Paramita, these huge sutras of thousands and thousands of lines. She memorized them better than any of the monks. And the head of the monastery would hold competitions, and all of these old monks would try to repeat it, and she would be able to do so much faster, so much better than they would. They'd make mistakes, she'd correct them. She was like a 5-year-old girl, and these guys could not keep up with her. So because of that, she was put in advanced training. Okay, and in that advanced training, she had tutoring by some very powerful and advanced lamas. So she got a lot of help, but that help that came was the result of her own good karma to have that intelligence and have that ability to use it in service of spiritual development. And what happened was a relationship became developed between her and the Ishta Devi of Tibet, who is named Tara. Tara is the great goddess who is the protectress of Tibetan spirituality. And Tara took Maciek under her wing. And she began to have visions of Tara, and then at one stage there was a total encounter. Tara actually appeared and taught her tremendous amounts of very secret information. Some of it is actually in this book, but you have to be very subtle to even understand what Tara is saying, but I would like to go into some of that with you. And she eventually, of course, realized that not only is she a protege of the goddess Tara, but she actually is an avatar, an embodiment. But she wasn't allowed to know that until she had gone through all the different rites of passage, all the ordeals of struggle to conquer the Maras without that knowledge. In other words, she was emptied out. It was an act of kenosis in the same way that Christians talk about it with Jesus. He emptied himself out of all that was powerful and divine that could have, destroyed the demons. And he acted as a simple human being who had to fast for 40 days, and he had to go through all of the same ordeal and be baptized, by John the Baptist. He had to go through all of that. So it doesn't matter that you have a divine nature, it's emptied out. If you want to refill it, you have to make effort now that will attract the Ishtadevta, your own divine nature, whether it's Tara or it's Vishnu or it's Shiva or it's another, but you will get the grace of that being that you are drawn to, that expresses your archetypal nature, if you have totally given yourself to the quest of knowing who you really are. And by that I mean who you are before you were born. As Christ once was asked who he was, and he said, well, before Abraham was, I am, right? So he wasn't talking about Jesus, the man. He was talking about Christ consciousness, which is the same as Buddha consciousness. There's no difference. There's just a terminological shift. So one of the first things that the goddess Tara teaches
Or back to center of light. I love Shunya Murdy. Wow, he lays it in there. Tonight has been center of light direction. Inward is upward, which is forward, which is toward something. And we're not going to get anywhere except back to where we are now. The ideal is to stretch where we are now beyond the timeline of that which binds us to the past and that which we hope pervert or consciously choose to create as our future. Are you battling God and the devil? It feels that way. It feels like we're all being sandwiched between the divine and the diabolical. I'm interested in the other thing, that which is beyond those two. I think we're all due for that. I feel that way for me. Do you see? Maybe it's not what we think it is. Maybe it plays itself out exactly how we think it is. So it's beyond what we can think because it's eternal. And if it is that, we're not there yet. We have to care about all that is good for everyone. No one wins until we all reach the goal. And the goal is here now. The journey is here now. We're all here now. Love you. Peace, love, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Maybe tomorrow night I'm going to bring back, I'm not going to say who it is, but I may do my first Center of Light radio interview back tomorrow night. Universe, YOUniverse. One, you, universe, song. Stand up and sing. Declare who you are.